Alright, guys, this is not really a part two. This is just basically me want to elaborate on some things that has happened because, yeah, I think it's just a good idea. I did do a Throwback Thursday. First Throwback Thursday actually was on Fox Kids. Then I did one on Kids WB. I actually did one on ABC Kids. So I might actually backtrack and do that because I haven't actually did one on that. But I did do one on 4Kids TV as well. So those links will be down below. So okay, let's do this, shall we? So for everyone who doesn't know about the kids generation, or at least the kids decade, or it's the era of kids where kids actually get lots of attention and such, the kids decade was actually from 1990 to 2000. But if you really want to stress and look at it, you have 1993 all the way to 2006. That's where it last ended. That's where the last freaking sword was pulled and everyone lost. Alright, so in 1993, basically you have Fox Kids. And Fox Kids actually was very, very good. I mean, you had Power Rangers who actually made Fox Kids go on the map. And that was very, 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 very good. And as soon as that happened, hip hip hooray. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And then they had like many other things, like you had Big Bad Beetleborgs, you had Marvel taking a scene. Marvel was everywhere on that. Marvel was everywhere. Let's see. On Fox Kids, of course. I guess I'll just make a little list. So they had like Iron Man, they had Spider Man, they had Silver Surfer, they had Fantastic Four and Hulk actually went to UPN. Well, at least in my region, that's where it went. Um, if I didn't say X Men, that's about all. Oh yeah, they did try the first ever Avengers, but they didn't do it the way that they did it today. If they would have did it the way they did it today, oh, lots of people would have watched. Lots of people would have watched. The Avengers that they came with, they basically had Wonder Man, they had Vision. They didn't have cameos whatsoever. You actually saw in the intro that they had Captain America, they had Thor, and they had Iron Man, but they never actually showed up. All you got was Ant-Man, Wasp, Tigra, all the ones that you don't really believe. Oh yeah, Hawkeye was there, but Hawkeye sounded like as if he was Wolverine. Yeah, it was very messed up. It's as bad as the first try to actually create X-Men, where they were like, "Welcome Kitty Pryde" or some kind of crap, and Wolverine sound not like he should. Yeah, he didn't sound like as he should be. So yeah, you had Fox Kids who blew up, and you also had on the other corners, you had ABC Kids. Was it ABC Kids? I think it was like back then it was called One Saturday Morning. That's what it was. Excuse me. Along with One Saturday Morning, you also had Kids WB. And Kids WB actually had the DC version. Yeah, they had Batman Superman, they had the Batman animated series, even though Batman animated series seemed like it started on Fox and then it went to Kids WB. Then you had the Superman, and they made it Batman Superman show. I don't think they hosted the Justice League, but they were able to get the Justice League on there like sometimes. They got Batman Beyond, but they allowed freaking Cartoon Network to steal that. Their big show that they had, that as soon as it was gone, they did manage, but it was gone. It was none other than Pokemon. When Pokemon hit the scene, and they didn't even actually count that. Yeah, at first what they did is just put it at 2:30. That's where I live. Where I live, they put it at 2:30 p.m., meaning that I would miss it, and my mom actually had to tape it for me. Weirdly enough, I can't find the tapes. I can find all my Power Ranger tapes, but the only tapes I can't find are my Pokemon tapes. What the fuck? Yeah, so yeah, that happened, and I was able to watch it. And I was happy, like, when we didn't have any school and all, because I was like, oh, yay, we could watch it, but, oh, great. The messed up part was the fact that I kind of grew to dislike the Cosby Show just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit, I kind of disliked the Cosby Show. Because the Cosby Show was at 2 o'clock and then at 2:30 was Pokemon. So I was like, hurry up, end, I want to see Pokemon. Yeah, I remember that. I also remember I was playing in the kitchen one day. I was kind of sick, like I am now. I think it was actually on a Tuesday. I kind of feel like it feels like I was out on a Tuesday. So, yeah. Let's see. They got Static Shock. That's one thing that was very, very important. The Static Shock. Static Shock is very important to me, and I'm shocked as frick that DVD was just starting out, and they gave us like 4 episodes on Static Shock, and then after that, they basically stop continuing on with that. I really hope sooner or later they'll start actually reproducing that, because if they don't reproduce it, oh boy, man, I mean, seriously. The last thing that they had that they finished was the Batman. That was a very, very good. That was a very, 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 very good TV show. And I think Beware the Batman could have actually have been as good as that TV show. If they would have did the same thing that WB did, Kids WB did, is leave it alone and allow them to be whatever they were. Allow the Batman become a very, very good TV show without being like, oh, but it's not the kids who's watching it, yo. Oh, we need to cancel it because we're dumb and we're Cartoon Network. I'm sorry, but I just had to do a kidney punch in there. And heck, Cartoon Network already beheaded like 3 Batman TV shows. They beheaded Batman Beyond, they beheaded Batman Brave and the Bold, and now you can include Batman Beware the Batman. That's 3 Batmen they straight up took a guillotine to and killed them and chopped their head off. Seriously, they did. Just look for yourself. Look for yourself. If I'm wrong, I'll give you a steak dinner. But look for yourself. So where I'm going at right now is just the fact of where everything just did a freaking turn for the worse. And everything went back to where it used to be. Okay, so first thing first was not the decline, but the horrible end of Fox Kids. The horrible end of Fox Kids happened in 2001, 2002. Yeah, so this is what happened. It's the fact of before that, I think in 1999, you actually had Jaime Sabans over here actually thought it was a good idea to buy the Family Channel and turn it into Fox Family, which I think that was awesome. I think that was an awesome freaking channel, and they had so much stuff that was in there, like Monster Farm, I think that was one of them. 3 Friends and Larry or Jerry, that was another one. You got to see lots of Beast Wars. Yeah, they had Beast Wars on there. Oh No, Mr. Bill Presents. They had Pee-wee's Playhouse. They played Goosebumps. They had Addams Family. There was lots and lots and lots of TV shows that I was like, oh man, this is an awesome channel. But sadly for me, in 2000, maybe even 1999, I can't really pinpoint where cable got so expensive that my mom just said, screw it. Cable gone. But cable was gone, and I was hoping that everyone else will actually see how cool Fox Family is. And they did all the way to some point. I forgot what year it was. Yeah, I've kind of forgot what year it was. Might have been 2004. So, yeah, don't quote me on that one. But eventually, people stopped watching Fox Family. kids stopped watching Fox Family for some stupid reason. Just because I couldn't watch Fox Family doesn't mean you guys couldn't continue on with my plight. So because y'all guys didn't continue on, you basically just had the messed up crap. You had the fact of Jaime Saban's was like, oh my gosh, we're hemorrhaging out of money, we're hemorrhaging out of money, we're hemorrhaging out of money. Actually, yeah, so it looks like it lasted for a few years. Yeah, it couldn't be 2004. I think I found out later that Fox Family was affected by the deal. That's what happened. But, yeah, the deal happened in 2002 and 2003. Yeah, so I think that's what happened. Even though Jetix is kind of cool, and Jetix was actually the spirit left from Fox Kids, Jetix is the spirit of Fox Kids, ladies and gentlemen. It is. So, what happened with the deal is the fact of Jaime Saban's was like, oh my gosh, it's hemorrhaging money, what I'm gonna do? And then Disney slid up with their dark self and said, oh, you guys having trouble? Oh, don't worry, pal, we'll bail you out. For something $1 million, we'll take that channel off your hands. Oh, that's good. But on the other hand, you're gonna have to get rid of Fox Kids. Fox Kids is gone. We get to have every single show Fox Kids ever had. Then after that, we'll give you your money. So that's what freaking Jaime Saban's did, is sold us out. Well, sold News Corporation, because News Corporation had 50% and Jaime Saban's had 50%. So he sold them out. So that's what happened to Fox Kids, folks. If you haven't heard about that, and I didn't actually talk about it, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but yeah. Either way, God, I hate sumo. Either way, so after that, you had Foxbox come, and Foxbox was the one that really screwed up Kids Block these times. So Kids Block, what happened now? Sorry, with Foxbox, what happened is that now Foxbox made it that you should go on the internet on weekdays, kids, because there's not going to be anything on the weekdays anymore. We're just going to have stuff on Saturday. Yes. And, well, that's what they did, is they eventually put episodes up. I think you were able to watch episodes way back then when they first started. But since I had dial-up, it kind of sucked. One second. So that's what happened. So they basically moved stuff to freaking internet. And that's where everyone else decided to do the same thing. Disney followed suit as well. Disney cut all of their afternoon TV shows. And now all that's left is their Saturday mornings. And luckily for us, we had CW, well actually WB as our savior, all the way to 2006, where they actually fought the good fight all the way to the point of they're like, what's the point? Kids these days are just watching freaking internet. Why do we even continue? So the Aftertoon show ended on a sad note. And that's how afternoon TV shows for kids ended. That way. Of course, you guys can debate, oh, but Cubo do it. Yeah, Cubo only do it on Friday. They don't do it every single day. That's how it works. Is that when you have a afternoon time slot for kids, it actually starts at 3, maybe even 2:30, and ends at 5 o'clock. That's how it works. Every single day, Monday through Friday. Not just Friday. So that's really what happened there. One thing I didn't really even talk about was the morning things. Things that they did in the morning, like 7:30. You know, so you had like one that happened at 7:30 on Saturday, and then you had for weekdays, it was from, yeah, so from weekday, actually no. On Saturdays it might even start at 6:30 and it ended like at 8. So that's how it went down. I can remember it very, very well. One thing I truly saw that I was like, oh man, that's awesome, was Monkey Magic. Yeah. It's horrible. I can't even find a freaking download to get that theme song. And the person that uploaded on YouTube, he doesn't even want to be like, oh, well, this is what I did. Or, hey, if you want the link, why don't you guys email me and I'll just give you the download? It's like, why didn't you do that? But instead, yeah. So with that said, I still remember the morning times, and Monkey Magic is one of the best times I ever had on Saturday. And let's see, what else? They also did Dragon Ball Z, but that was short lived. They only did that for one Saturday and they quit. I was like, seriously? I don't have cable. So why in the world would you continue on showing Dragon Ball Z? I don't even have freaking damn cable. Yeah. Not only that, but Teen Titans actually came within the time slot of Saturday mornings. So yeah. The only thing left is just the fact of. Only thing left was just the fact of. Oh yeah, for Monday through Friday. I think Garfield and Friends was at 6:30, and then later on, I think they also had Bobby's World. Bobby's World was awesome. They also had Beast Wars, which Beast Wars was one of the things that was very, very cool to watch. Yeah, yeah, there's lots of things that came on at 6:30. But one thing I know for a fact was Beast Wars was the thing that took the cake. Of course, on the other hand, in later years, because yeah, in later years, I think like Beast Wars went to 1996 to 1998 on weekdays, and then all of a sudden they allowed it to be on Saturday mornings. And let's see, oh yes, and then on weekdays, because I remember eventually, instead of the whole I wake up in the morning or I wake up sleeping in my mom's bed, I was a kid, man. I was like 5 or 6 years old. Get off it. So, let's see. I think like, I think that when I was 8 years old, that's when I started going downstairs, eating breakfast, and getting ready for school. And it's either I watched Tex Avery or watched Sailor Moon. And that's the first time ever I actually saw something and I enjoyed it. Sailor Moon, I enjoyed it. Screw it. I don't give a darn that Deke freaking censored it. It was just a good story whatsoever, and I liked freaking Sailor Jupiter. I would have married Sailor Jupiter. I would so marry her. Everybody was like, I just told you I was 8 years old, you jerk. She was 14, I was 8. Meaning that she would actually be 30 or 31 years old compared to me. So it's kind of like, yeah, don't make it perverted. She most likely will be older than me. Than me. But seriously, yeah, I saw that. And then before that, I remember before that, sadly, I can remember me actually watching Barney. I hate that I remember that part. And what's worse is that I already told you, but Barney, yeah, they actually allowed Barney to have another show on Fox at 8 o'clock. That was horrible. And they don't even have that listed, but I remember it was. I remember they did it. I remember they freaking did it. But anyways, yeah, so before then, they had like Johnny Quest was on. They also had Captain Planet. I think that's about all. Oh yeah, Carmen Sandiego. That's about all the freaking shows that I remember that came on early morning. But I will tell you one thing: when it came to summertime, you know, one station that had the good stuff at summertime, none other than UPN. UPN had the best stuff on summertime. They had Jumanji, the animated series. They had Tarzan. That's all I can remember. But still, Jumanji as an animated series was very interesting, and I would like to see what if they had the ending of it. Let me see. Let me see if they do have an ending of it. Jumanji last episode. Yeah, exactly. Last episode. Episode 32. It looks like it might actually be in Yeah, it looks like it might actually be in a different language. Let me just check this out 1 second. Oh, what do you know? It's Canada. Damn it. It is in French. Everyone's gonna be like, dude, what the frick, man? French isn't that bad. Yeah, but I can't speak French, man. The person that I was gonna go to eventually and say, can you teach me how to speak French a little bit? He is dead. He is long gone. So it looks like the season had seasons. So I guess that's what happened is that Jumaji came and 1 second, guys. Since I'm very curious, I'm gonna read what the last episode had to say. So it looks like the last episode said goodbye Jumanji, and it was aired on March 11, 1999. After energy munging with the clue, when you reflect on actions past, the quest you're on will end at last. Judy, Peter, and Alan are chased by a lion and run into a cave where they accidentally cause a rock slide trying to stop the lion. When they find the Jumanji Crystal of Reflection, which contains a record of everything that happened in Jumanji, touching it, they see a few of the previous ventures in reverse order and realize that watching the crystal for a long enough will show Alan entering into Jumanji and thus giving them that clue, allowing him to escape. While watching it, the three were attacked by the rock eel, but Alan uses a substance in the cave that acts like gum and glue the eel's mouth shut and then tied him to a rock. They continue watching the crystal, but when the lion starts to break through, they have to take the crystal and run. After stopping to watch some more, they have to run again when the lion's roar gets closer and gets attacked by a giant toad. But tie his tongue to a stagmite. Wow, that's what stagmite? That's how you spell that? What the heck? And run, continuing to watch as they go. They finally get to the crystal to show them Alan getting stuck into Jumanji, but Alan falls on some ice and the crystal breaks. However, the broken crystal still shows what happens, and Alan watches as he rolls, then gets called away to dinner. The reason why he never saw his clue and watches as the crystal finally displays his clue. An act of kindness where there is no light will help save you from your plight. As they celebrate finally knowing Alan's clue, the lion attacks and Alan fights it. It's revealed that the lion has a horn on its paw, causing it great pain, and Julie realized that the clue referred to Alan helping the lion. Alan removed the thorn and the lion licks him and leaves. Helping the lion finally solves Alan's clue and he leaves Jumanji, and solving Alan's clue solves Peter and Judy, as freeing Alan was their quest they were on. The three of them return to Peter and Judy's house where they celebrate finally freeing Alan. Alan has a moment where he realizes he could have left the game almost immediately all those years ago if he hadn't ran. Aunt Nora walks in and vaguely recognizes Alan, so Judy and Peter claims he's an actor from down the street and asks if he could stay for dinner. Nora agrees and walks off arm in arm with Alan discussing food, causing Judy and Peter to think maybe someday he'll end up their uncle. With Alan free, Peter closes Jumanji for the last time, and he and Judy decides to destroy the game the next day before leaving the attic to join Aunt Nora and Alan. Wow. That's a good ending. I wish I actually saw the whole entire series now, but sadly I found it on YouTube, but it's in freaking French. I don't speak French, damn it. I'm not that good of a person. I chose Spanish. I chose Spanish. Espanol. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Well, anyways, I'm back from all that. So yeah, that's basically what happened, and that's all that really happened is the fact that I didn't explain the last part. So the last part of it, Disney in 2010 just straight up left. Yeah, after they lost Power Rangers, they really didn't have any reason to continue on because all the rest of their shows were repeats. Since all the rest of their shows were repeats, there was really nothing on for kids to watch except for Power Rangers. That's the only reason why they did it. And for Disney's plan, just in case you guys didn't know it, was to take the first 3 episodes, seasons from Power Rangers, and then refurbish them, show them to the public, and milk the hell out of Power Rangers before they say, farewell, Power Rangers. I don't know what's going to happen to you eventually, but we don't give a crap. Yeah, that's after the whole question of, so this is what I've heard so far, and eventually maybe someday someone's going to correct me and say, you're wrong, but for right now, this is what I know. I know the fact that Disney actually asked Toei, the people who actually own the stock footage for Power Rangers, can they actually turn Power Rangers into a cartoon? They wanted the next season to actually be cartoon based, and they said no. Not only that, but they later on made a manga and said, you know what? Why don't we put the Rangers in this manga here and just see what happens? And so, yeah, they actually made a manga about it in chibi form of the Power Rangers. Talk about a big slap to the face. But yeah, that's what happened with Disney. Disney basically left of that reason. They've been ditched their old ways. Recess stopped showing up, which was like, what? What? Yeah. I think Recess was actually their signature series, but they just ditched it. The other one that was good was Buzz Lightyear. You would figure that they would continue on with Buzz Lightyear, but they allowed it to get canceled. It was kind of like our version of Woody's Roundup. But I think basically, even though in Toy Story 3 you didn't hear any mention whatsoever about, Buzz Lightyear series in it, but still, actually it would be Toy Story 2 who actually would talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, they had that good show. They only allowed it to show up on weekdays. They never showed it on the weekends for some reason. They also had Doug too, and yeah, after Nickelodeon abandoned it, or maybe they bought it off, I'm not sure. I always said that they canceled Doug without anything, but I guess they didn't do what I said. So I'm finally coming to terms that they did treat Doug right, because they ended Doug with the fact of he's on the last page on his journal and he's about to have a date with Patty Mayonnaise. The first ever date. To leave you wonder, what in the world happened on that date? Did he kiss Patty Mayonnaise? Are they now going steady? We don't know. Yeah, and the creators always got asked, when will Doug kiss Patty Mayonnaise? I could swear the one that I always try to see the end of and have to go to school, most likely Doug did kiss him. Or it's basically what happened in Gumball. The fact of Gumball leaning in for the kiss, and he headbutts Penny, causing Penny to have a crack in her face. Oh, let's see. So we got Disney down. That's what happened to Disney. Now let's talk about what happened to 4Kids TV and also what happened with CW 4Kids. So basically, what happened to Foxbox? It turned into 4Kids TV, and it turned into 4Kids the game station, or the game. Yeah, the Game Center. The fact that they were giving out lots and lots and lots of freaking Xbox 360s, Wii's, and PlayStations. They were giving out lots of them. Sadly, I was at the age where I couldn't actually participate anymore, which is bullcrap, but whatever. Yeah, so one thing that was really, really crazy is just the fact of they actually. It's crazy just because they could actually, since they own two networks now. Yeah, it came to the point of where they both own two networks. And because they both own two networks, they kept on seeing the same thing on each network. If you go back and forth, you'll see the same exact freaking stuff on the network. I mean, I get it. I can understand that. But I would like to actually have, like, material that's good. You know? Like, for instance, they could have actually got, like, 2 or 3 new shows. Or maybe 4. And they put 2 shows in each of their freaking channels they have. So at least if you don't want to watch repeats, you can watch this new show. So it'll be back and forth. Just kind of like something fun that they can do. It's just back and forth of, all right, we have to watch this channel. All right, we have to watch this channel. Oh, we have to watch this channel. You know, just back and forth, you know. Just something kind of cool to do. But instead, they decided to just continue on with having repeats. Especially Sonic X. Sonic X is one thing they repeated. I came to the point of disliking Ninja Turtles, which they did. Fox did bring back Ninja Turtles in a brand new way, in a cool way, and sadly they didn't end it right. I mean, they got new artists, just like what they did in Chaotic. And Chaotic was a very, very cool TV series, but the messed up part is just the fact of they didn't actually allow you to have to say. I mean, I had to get used to the first season where they were like, well, we have this weird artwork that we're doing, this weird animation. I got used to it. And then all of a sudden they go straight into cartoon, which I'm like, dude, you had something unique. Why in the world would you just change it like that? Same with Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles went to Fast Forward. That was good. And then all of a sudden, they basically decided, hey, what about for Fast Forward? We basically are crazy enough to say, why not we just straight up change artists? And I bet people in the freaking comment section will definitely tell me, oh, it's because they fired this artist dude, they had to get a new guy and all that stuff. Or it's the fact that there was a gap between those series, so the guy quit and said, I don't think they need me anymore. And so what? I still would like to have the artwork match the series completely. Because it's kind of messed up where you go to that one. It's kind of like comic books, too. You have a certain artwork, you should stay to that certain artwork until there's a new series. Yeah. If you don't stick to the artwork and you just go back and forth with some crazy artwork, I need consistency. I really do. And Ninja Turtles did a great job all the way to the very end. That's all I gotta say. But anyways, eventually they realized that since they had 2 freaking places and they kept on showing the same crap, excuse me, they decided why not we move to one station and have new stuff for people. So that's what they did. So they said goodbye to Fox, and Fox Forever is now an empty lot where they just show infomercials along with the grassy piece of trash. And also you had like some jungle crap too, which I don't give a darn. But CW4Kids did a great job. They reinvented themselves in a brand new way, and they straight up just tore it up. But they allowed freaking Disney to buy their Running Man. Because they started with Spectacular Spider-Man. That's one thing they started with. Excuse me. You also had Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, which you would figure they should have just got Address Entertainment to actually continue on. They should have gave them Address Entertainment a buttload of money and said, find another Kamen Rider series, do it. Because Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, if you guys haven't seen it, it's a very, very good series. It's very, very well done. After some jerk who was like, well, Kamen Rider Ryuga was the best show ever. It's better than this one. I would like to find that guy and slap him in the face because that was the piece of crap I've ever seen. Was it well done? Yes. But it had deadlier stakes. The fact that they actually do die if they get defeated. Not only that, but you at the end you keep wondering who got their wish. Because you had I'll just say his English name, his American name. Oh crap, I forgot his English name too. Damn, I forgot his American name. I just know his name is Lin. Yeah, I know his name in American is Lin. So you have Lin who defeated everybody. Everybody's dead, and the original person that we know about, he died as well. He died by a stinger in the heart, or the stinger in his side. Yeah, so he died. He fought. He fought for the last time, and so as he defeated all those disgusting bad enemies, he got out and he died. He got on a mural world and he just straight up died. And that's what happened. So the last one wins get to have the great power. So since Lin was the last one, he had a wish to bring back his girlfriend. But, yeah, here's the thing that's a real but. But the person who created them in the first place, he was able to control time. And since he's able to control time, he could either A, restart everything and try over again, or B, make it so that nothing ever happened. And that's what he did. So that means that whole entire fight was technically for nothing, because he redid the whole entire thing again and made it so that nothing ever happened. So that's your big messed up what the moment. Because it's like, well, who got their wish? Did Lin get their wish, or did everyone get? I don't know what the hell to freaking say on that. But anyways, I did watch the whole entire series and the movie, and I have to say, what Kamen Rider Dragon Knight did is that they took the movie, they took the freaking movies too, and oh yeah, and the TV special as well, and they straight up put it all together. They basically did what Power Rangers did, but they did it very, very, very well done. The Power Rangers never ever actually took one of the movies that was created and actually put it in a series. Not until 4 years ago, which they smashed 2 movies together, and it was a special. It wasn't even. Yeah, they don't even act. It was horrible. It was horrible. I admit, it was horrible because they couldn't do exactly what they could do, because what Disney decided to do with their previous series they had, it conflicted on what they could do with this series, the previous series, and with this crossover movie. Yeah, so anyways, CW, they had Spectacular Spider-Man. They allowed that to get snatched from them. And then after that, yeah, they got Sonic still. That was bull crap. That was the only few things that was worthwhile. I mean, yes, they did have Yu-Gi-Oh! They didn't continue with that. They allowed Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds to be taken from them by Cartoon Network, who didn't even show it after they took it. I heard they got actually GX. They allowed Cartoon Network to get GX, but that was like messed up because I didn't see Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And not only that, but Cartoon Network has the uncommon decency to actually say, when they get an animated series, an anime, we don't want to finish this. This seems too not for children. We can't finish this. They did that to Sailor Moon, and they did that to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. That's the tally I have so far. Of course, they could do it on Adult Swim, and that would have gave it everything, the entirety and everything, but whatever. Let's see. What else is left? That's about it. So CW just stayed there for a while, and then Toonzai came, and Toonzai should have actually stayed all the way to 2014. Or, basically you had Vortex coming up, The New Hope. A New Hope. Spawn's redemption. It's time for them to finally undo what they did was wrong those decades ago. That decade ago. Did they do it? Kinda, sorta. But they allowed it to end and they allowed it to become cheapos. That's what screwed them over, is them being cheapos. Because if they would have continued on with Iron Man Armored Adventures, they could have kept on having Transformers Prime. Let's see. Now you have freaking Haunted Hour in peril because we don't know if Haunted Hour will stay on the Discovery Family channel. So that's in peril. They could actually get that. That's up for grabs. You have Young Justice. They could have just snagged. They had not Iron Man, sorry. They had Green Lantern Armored Adventure, Green Lantern Animated Adventures, and they had Beware the Batman. You had like at least 6 good shows. That works, and then Beat 'em on Crossfire got killed. Yeah, it wasn't really that good. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, that was good. Digimon Fusion, that's good. They could continue on having Power Rangers or not. It's up to them. Excuse me. I read something that someone said, oh, well, for Power Rangers, when they did have it on Vortex, only 0.6 million people watched it. That's like at least half of what Power Rangers audience get. I would like to tell that idiot, listen, stupid. Number one, they put all of that season on Hulu, meaning that everyone can skip ahead and watch all of the freaking episode, all the freaking season already. Not only that, but on Netflix, you're able to get it easily, too. Not to mention you could get it on DVD, so it's kind of like, look at what you're freaking dealing with here. Of course they have less than that. Of course they have 16 grand people. 16,000 people. You're able to find it everywhere. You're able to find it on YouTube at the time. Kind of. Yeah, I know I've gone long, so I'm just going to end it with just this. Is that what happened with the kids' generation, the kids' decade, is that basically the internet defeated them. The internet defeated them. Cable defeated them. Heck, cable's not as good as it was. Yeah, I say satellite most likely defeated them. But anyways, there's really nothing actually to truly say what really killed it. I know what killed afternoons. Yeah, Box did that. But what killed Saturdays? Yeah, it's just like what some people said. Oh, well, kids don't watch basic broadcast cable anymore, broadcast stuff anymore. Yeah, they're too involved with freaking cable stuff. And I'm like, yeah, really? The only thing that really works is Power Rangers. And that comes on like at noon or 12:30. It doesn't really add up. Not only that, but Digimon Fusion sucked on Nickelodeon. Digimon Fusion performed badly, while when it was on Vortex, it did a great job. I mean, it's not as good as it tried to save him. Yeah, I mean, Vortex saving grace would be freaking Digimon Fusion. They couldn't do it because they ended it and then started to repeat it. So if they would have continued on with new episodes, maybe there was a chance. But Vortex fell in the same freaking crap that Toon's Eye and 4Kids did. It's the fact that they kept on repeating crap. That doesn't give you money. That doesn't really give you money. You have to use money to get money. Well, anyways, I'm done. So that's my big layout of what happened to the kids' decade / the kid era. Will it return eventually? I really hope so. If not, we're just going to enjoy this whole broadcast full of educational crap. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to try to get better soon. Have a great day.